I was feeding. We promised Kentray we'd feed you Cookie.
Yeah.
He's like Cookie's had a bad week, and I'm like, we'll feed him on Sunday. It's okay.
God. You didn't leave the room apparently.
It was a long week.
Yeah, apparently Kentray hasn't seen you in a week and a half, so you need to knock on his door, say hi.
Welcome to $2 Steak, a pro wrestling podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Varnum. Joining me today, as always, and now we're all screwed up because it's like you guys have changed your spots.
Hey, Aaron, new year, new us.
Well, no, that should have debuted last week.
Mr. Diva over here had to.
Sorry, I wanted to sit on the couch. I'm tired of Aaron's uncomfortable 1987 chairs.
I love those chairs. I'm sitting in those chairs right now, and so is Davenport.
Why haven't you been sitting in it the whole time?
Because I have like my whole cubby over here that
You look really a lot more professional now.
I don't feel more professional. I definitely don't feel
like a
it.
little host corner over here.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the corner.
Spitter, he's got a sear mist, a ring bell, and all of his setup.
I feel like I'm living in squalor over here, and just like
You even got your turntable behind you so you can drop fresh tracks on the podcast.
I know. It feels
In
weird.
West Philadelphia, born and raised on the
No.
I was really hoping you make a shrimp play in there, Cookie.
Well, all his records are more like, I don't know, it's all like the Smiths or some shit like that.
No, there's a lot of rap. There's a lot of rap in this. Why would you think that all I listen to is the Smiths?
Because you're sad.
There's a
was sad.
There's a 3-6 Mafia vinyl in there somewhere.
There is. There honestly is. Yeah, I have Dope Boy Fresh on vinyl. Because when I used to spin records downtown Wilmington,
At Yosaki?
At Yosaki, I would play all the rap hits. No, I can't. No, now that I'm looking, I can't find anything.
I would love it if you put on a Smiths record.
$2 Steak, professional wrestling podcast. I'm joined by Big Mike.
Yes.
Cookie.
You
Tolbert.
Oh, yeah, I'm right here.
And once again, the peanut butter pancake, Matt Davenport.
I'm over here.
Hey, welcome back, Matt. And as you chomp down some shrimp. What are you going to say, Matt? What are you going to say?
I was surprised I got invited back after the ketchup incident.
Well, the ketchup incident. So let me tell you, last pay-per-view we had over here at my house, we cooked dogs. We cooked a lot, a spatchcock chicken.
Yeah, we did.
Like we always do. And at some point, Davenport wanted to put ketchup on his dog. And Davenport walked out of the kitchen, had ketchup on his dog, and that was it. 15 minutes later, I go into the kitchen. It looked like a fucking murder scene.
Blood spatter everywhere.
There
like
was ketchup everywhere. And he didn't realize. I was like, Davenport, what just happened? Explain, Davenport. What happened in that kitchen?
So I was trying to put ketchup on my hot dog, and I was shaking the bottle because you just about out of ketchup, and the lid wasn't closed all the way.
It's my fault. Somehow this is my
You
fault.
should have had more ketchup. I wouldn't have to shake the lid.
This is an abusive relationship.
So I didn't so I'm shaking the bottle, and the lid's not open or not closed all the way, and I feel like a little bit of ketchup hit the floor, and I'm like, oh shit! So I look, and there's a lot of ketchup on the floor, and I'm like, clean this up real quick. Nobody will ever fucking know.
Right.
Well, apparently, in the entire time that I was shaking the ketchup, it was going all the way up to the ceiling, down to in front of me somewhere on the oven, and it was all over the fucking place. But I always saw it on the floor. So, like you said, 15 minutes later, you go in the kitchen, you're like, what the fuck happened? And I'm like, I cleaned all the ketchup up.
You didn't. And in fact, months later, I still walk into that kitchen and find various ketchup stains that I didn't know were there.
So, Matt, there's actually a conspiracy. So you air fried these phenomenal mozzarella sticks. I think Aaron stole the marinara out of the box.
Oh, and then just threw it somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't want any more red sauce anywhere near my kitchen.
I looked before y'all started. There's actually zero ketchup in his refrigerator.
There's nothing.
You know why? Because I threw it away because I was so mad.
Matt, you know what's in his refrigerator? Cheerwine, 3-week-old pizza, and 2 month.
3 week? That's like 2 months old.
Oh, I was gonna say. Well, so then 3-month-old chicken noodle soup.
Yep.
And the beer we bring over.
No, I had some beer this time.
Oh,
I have some beer this time, and also
Quick, go drink it.
It's all his girlfriend's beer anyway.
Yeah, well-
she has to drink when she comes over here.
Is this a wrestling podcast or a show?
No. What else is in that fridge? Oh, I went to the grocery store last night.
There's Duke's mayonnaise.
There's Duke's mayonnaise.
I mean, he's just a good Southern boy.
yeah, I mean, you gotta have Duke.
Hey, you know what? I made some
Duke
grilled.
on you.
I made some grilled cheese with Duke's mayonnaise.
I
instead of
did
butter.
yesterday.
Phenomenal.
I did yesterday, and it was what? There's yogurt. There are, in fact, inside my freezer last night when I went to the Walmart and was like searching around the ice cream section, and your wife was like, "Do you have any ice cream?" I'm like, "No, I don't have any ice cream." I bought a 6-pack of the Mickey Mouse ears chocolate covered vanilla ice cream on a stick. You know they have at Disney World.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah, well, they now sell it at Walmart. Now, that's in my freezer right now.
I'm gonna
And I
have
don't
it.
want to tell anybody.
I'm gonna
You're not
have
going to
me
have
one
one.
of 'em.
You're not going to.
You're getting me one.
You're not. Because they're mine. Those are mine.
I'll wrestle you for one.
I will destroy you.
Canadian
some-
destroy.
I will, just like everybody
I'm
else.
just trying to tie
in
this
this world.
conversation back
Hit him with
into
the
wrestling.
RKO.
All right, so today on $2 Steak, it's all about, we're going to the Far East to New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's a promotion that has been, started by Antonio Inoki. I'm making it like gnocchi, like the Italian potato
Gnocchi.
pasta. No, but it's Antonio Inoki, and we have been kind of getting on that train recently. What do you guys? What are your thoughts on NJPW right now?
I actually really prefer it. I don't know any of the stories because you don't get to hear commentary or anything.
Right? Well, you can.
But I think they do a. I actually probably prefer it out of all of the things we've been watching. You guys make fun of me because I'm the biggest AEW mark of the group, I think. But I really enjoy that you can watch it. It looks real, and they tell a story within the ring that is transcendent of language.
Any language. You don't have to know what they're saying or but they can tell that story, and it's usually a pretty good story.
What was that?
Yeah, it's
like
great.
that Okada Ibushi match.
Yeah.
Like I knew that dude was going insane about the Hulk up when he started slamming him with closed fists. I didn't need commentary or anybody to tell me that. I knew something was about to happen.
Well, he no-sold the move and came up with the Coke nose. He started doing the Coke nose.
Yeah.
But no Zelda. No Legend of Zelda
sword,
sword allowed with that. Now, Cookie has been watching a lot of NJPW because that is his segment of the show.
I am the king of the strong style.
You
so
are-
to speak.
Cookie is the king of the strong style.
No, what I like is the big fight aspect of it. I like how the realism behind NJPW and with strong style. They don't pull a lot of their fists or kicks or what it seems like, and it brings some realism to it. You definitely suspend belief when it comes to watching their matches for sure.
And it definitely, we're saying that it's a lot more snug. It's a lot more in your face. But not necessarily hardcore. They're not doing the hardcore stuff. They're not bleeding as much.
I don't think I've ever seen blood in an NJPW.
I
match.
have, and there was a little bit of blood in your match that you have tonight,
I didn't even see it.
and but it's still very believable. You're watching this match and you're like, that really hurt. Some of the neck bumps that you see that Ibushi,
Ibushi, come on now. The what was it, on the
him against Naito,
the apron spot?
it's
It was
disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the
Twist
power
his neck
behind
up.
all the moves. I love the set. I love the crowd. The Japanese crowd, they're a little quiet and respectful, but they get super into it. They show so much respect.
Well,
and also the other thing I like it is even if it's two lower card guys, there's still such a strong storyline behind those. Every single match, there's something to get into.
And to get into that neck spot thing you were talking about, I feel like I've seen more. Is it a snap suplex in NJPW than I see anywhere else? They just grab them and just fucking rip them back there.
Yeah,
And I love that
everything
move.
is-
That's that. I feel like that move should end a match, but it never does.
Well, the cool thing about this is all of these guys, when you get inducted, when you're allowed to train at NJPW, they have a dojo, and you're going there, you're living there. This is what the Young Lions are doing. They are living there at the NJPW or dojo. They are cleaning up after things. They're drilling. They're being taught by people like Jushin Liger. They're being trained in this style. So they all you can see a lot of things similar between all the wrestlers, but they all have their own take on it, and it's really cool. And I like how instead of like NXT where they have their own brand, they have Young Lions, and they will have Young Lion matches, kind of like a dark match before big events and stuff like that, where you're seeing people like Shuda, like who.
I was just say in the G1 they would do like a big level match, and then like the next day or the day before it was like a tag match with like the big name Andy Young Lion.
Right. So you get that rub of being able to shoot a wrestling with Jon Moxley throughout the G1, and that whole story of him kind of being taken under the wing of Jon Moxley, and Moxley taking him around Japan and doing all sorts of stuff with him and teaching him the ways of being what's his nickname now? It's Jon Moxley. I can't even think of what his nickname is right now.
I'm terrible. I have no.
One of the other things I love is the tournaments that they use. The G1 Climax.
I love the tournaments.
I think that the other companies should use that a little bit more, but they choose not to. But NJPW really.
You don't think the road to WrestleMania is the same as the G1?
Not at all. It definitely doesn't have the legitimacy as the G1 Climax.
Well, you have things like the Dusty Rhodes Classic, which is on NXT, and like NXT
and
also
that's fairly new. So they're starting to pick up on that type of stuff.
Right, they're starting to do those month-long tournaments on NXT television. It's a really easy way for them to have storylines for a whole month.
Yeah.
You're having, all right, well, this guy has won 3 in a row. What is he going to do in this next one? It builds drama on that. Yeah. This guy who you never thought would win is winning or something like that. Yeah. And that's what I kind of miss with the fact that there is no King of the Ring anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
that's how you build younger talent.
Right.
Exactly. But they don't. They choose not to do that, unfortunately. But hopefully they do that in the future.
I think so. I think that with the influence of NJPW kind of growing in the States, and now they are even doing tours of the United States, which is something they couldn't do years ago. Like in a few weeks, NJPW's wrestling in Durham. Like Durham, North Carolina, at an Armory is going to have Kota Ibushi wrestling. But they're also going to have the Rock and Roll Express wrestling against Toru Yano, which I think would be actually a really fun match.
Yeah, sure.
What?
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Do you not like Yano?
I love Yana.
Oh, okay.
No,
you don't like Rock and Roll.
No, I like Rock and Roll Express. I like their old stuff. I'm not a big fan of them currently wrestling. That's just me though.
He's been on this kick for like a month.
Yeah, this is
like you want me to? I'll go on it. Whatever you want. You want me to suspend? You want me to suspend disbelief?
A 60-year-old doing a suicide dive. Come on.
Yeah,
no?
and it's not. Yeah.
No, you don't believe it?
No. I feel. You know what? I love when they get on NWA and they cut a promo. Love it. They know how to talk. Yeah. But wrestling, like it's I can't get into it. I'm sorry.
Mike's getting buried right now.
Somebody, I feel like the shitstorm that Aaron's gonna get texts to him about this dumb fuck Mike, but I just can't. I can't get into it.
I think even Zane Dawson's gonna be mad at Big.
I know, man, and I see
he's gonna put you through a table next.
Seriously, I'm gonna be watching my back.
Zane Dawson's gonna be like, "Hey, you lost a bet, didn't you? You talk bad about the Rock and Roll Express, didn't you?" All right, for our first matchup of the evening, Big Mike has got Ishii, Tomohiro Ishii, against Minoru Suzuki. And Mike, this is what you call strong style.
Oh boy.
What am I doing? Oh, do I have to hit this every single time we do it?
It's so loud. Yeah, so strong style it is. So last week we had Stan Hansen and Terry Funk in was that AJP?
It was AJPW.
Yeah, so this is a very similar match, but it's just it's Ishii and Suzuki. So
correct.
Not a lot of wrestling early. Actually, so the only wrestling move for about half of the match was Ishii going for like a jumping head kick.
Right.
And he missed it. But what I do like is, and I mentioned this with Cookie, is like he gets to kind of like build. He he gets to watch it and like build his own storyline in his head, right? He's watching these matches, he has no idea what's going on, but you just build it in your head. And so like I'm building these characters in my head for myself.
Right.
I know.
Let me hear it.
I know Ishii. I know a little bit about Suzuki, but it's so for me we got a Rhino. Not Rhino the character, but it's just like a Rhino.
Right.
She's like got
Ishii?
he's no neck, he's bowling ball, he's just tough as nails. And then we got Suzuki, right? So Suzuki, for one, his haircut reminds me of Abdullah the Butcher's head.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
It just like it's lumpy. It looks lumpy. It's the haircut though.
It's the haircut.
It's just weird. But he's like leaner and he's a little taller. And to me, he just reminded me of that Clint Eastwood character in Gran Torino.
Which one?
Well, the only character in the Gran Torino movie.
Clint Eastwood? No, there's tons of characters in that movie.
The Clint Eastwood character in Gran
Oh,
Torino.
I didn't hear the Clint Eastwood character.
God,
Yeah, didn't he say the character in Gran Torino?
no, he's high. You weren't paying attention.
Sorry, I was adjusting your levels.
So it's just this like grizzled old veteran who's seen a lot of shit. He takes no shit from anybody. He might not be as strong or as fast or whatever, but he just like doesn't care.
Right.
He's gonna just tell you what it is and lay it down. And it is just strong style to a T. Like they're just kicking and smacking and punching and elbowing each other. At one point, they're doing this back and forth.
Okay.
And
this is your favorite or your least favorite spot, right?
oh, it wasn't
the back and forth.
I wouldn't
the
say it was my
elbows.
least. Oh yeah. So in general, in wrestling today,
yes,
the
sorry.
back and forth is so cheesy.
I agree.
And these two are hammering elbows to the point where you're audibly hearing and seeing sweat and everything fly off. And at first you're like, oh, they must be doing leg slaps. You're wrong, because they're holding each other's face with the opposite hand and just bowing the shit out of their jaw.
See, I think when we have those slap fests, like the back and forth slap fest thing, it doesn't work. And I think in this match it did work because both of their kind of unhinged style is like
And they both-
want to
They're
take
crazy,
it.
yeah. And they showed it a couple times with like,
Hit me hard.
yeah, I'm gonna actually
I made a note.
hit me harder.
I made a note that they were like, "Hey, let's have slap battles and kick each other in the face." But like really fucking,
but really do it.
But really do. And so like I've had this thought a couple times, and this match a little bit in the last weeks, but this one particularly. So in your carotid artery, there is a neuroreceptor.
Oh no.
That actually gauges pressure and like things.
Okay.
And so like I have no idea how or why it's not triggered when these guys are hitting it, because like that's that like infamous like ancient Japanese ninja like knock you out kind of thing.
So like, and honestly, I think at one point it did trigger on Ishii.
Because it sends a sensory thing to your brain to like I forget whether it's like reduce your blood pressure or whatever, but like that's what makes you pass out. And I have no idea like how these guys are elbowing each other in the neck and not like triggering something like
it's called
that.
kendo sticks. Kendo sticks.
Did you not see it when Ishii?
Oh no, I thought he was just selling it.
No, there was one where he went completely limp and just falls over in a heap. And I'm like,
so basically it's that for about the match is 20 minutes.
okay.
It's just two dudes beating the fuck out of each other for about 12. No wrestling. It's fine. It's just fists and elbows. But I like this at one point.
Can we just wait?
Oh, go ahead.
Matt. What are you doing? Why are you using that as a?
What do you have to explain it? This is radio.
You're right,
This is
you're
podcast.
right, you're right.
So Matt has a
Well, that's why I want you to explain what this is first.
he has a graboid. You guys remember Tremors, right?
Yeah,
That's not a graboid. That is
I know,
a
but it
T-Rex.
looks. Can you let me explain and visualize for people listening at home?
Yes.
It is a T-Rex hand glove thing, but it looks like a graboid from Tremors.
Yes. So, Mom
Okay.
gave that to me in my stocking this year. So that's a Barbara Varnum special.
Anyway,
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
anyway,
I'm
back to
sorry.
wrestling.
I just had to stop the.
This is getting derailed. But anyway, at one point, Ishii is on all fours, and Suzuki's doing this like just like tap to his face, just like
Yeah.
hey man, you there? You dead? Like you would like check if you ran up on like a homeless guy or a dead dog, like you just
Right,
kind of like
right.
kick it, just gonna see if it's alive. Like, why are you in the street, dude? Are you okay? And I just thought that was hilarious. Actually, I was sitting there like barbecuing yesterday, and I was just like, at that point, I was giggled to myself.
What did you think of Suzuki's character?
I told you, he's like Clint Eastwood. He's even more like Clint Eastwood now.
But like, well, now that the older, but like, he's the guy. Like, he would take one, and then he has that weird grin on his face. Like,
he's a wild card.
I think he just loves punishment. I think he likes doling it. I think he likes receiving it. Like, he's.
So I looked him up. He was one of the. Have you guys ever heard of pancrase? It's a fighting style. Like, it was a promotion back. It was kind of like right around the time UFC started. So Minoru Suzuki started it, and he was like a world champion, like, of this promotion. He's like one of the top grapplers in the world, one of the top strikers in the world, and like destroyed. Had matches with Ken Shamrock and like Rutan and Barnett, like all of these big names in the world of mixed martial arts, and he's just doing it. He's 51 years old.
And so that's where, like, I feel like he definitely has that kind of like fuck it vibe. Like, he's like, this is all a work, like, but I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you because I can and I want to. And
I think Ishii's almost the same way.
I feel like Ishii in a shoot fight. I think Ishii would be scary as hell, and so it's a good match. At one point, what's this Ishii move? I wrote that it's like it looks like a reverse powerbomb pile driver kind of thing.
So it's almost like a
Dude, Alabama slam.
It is disgusting though. Like,
it looks cool.
And Suzuki's almost like Ibushi. Like, he just like eats the whole bump. Like there's no softening it. He's just like, just let me land on my neck and head, and I'll just figure it out. You know.
There was a couple times in the match where I was concerned with the health of the competitors, and there was a legitimate open hand slap fest.
Well, and then it got to a closed hand, didn't it?
No,
I'm confusing this with Cookie. Sorry, yeah.
So they do a open hand slap fest, and those were some of the hardest slaps.
Well, and again, like,
does Red Shoes ever like step in?
Yeah, Red Shoes is like,
well, they're open hand, they're legal.
What about the close hand? You just said they just did the close hand as well.
Dude,
no, that was in your match.
It doesn't matter. Red Shoes is like the premier like referee for NJPW, but he lets everything. I've never seen Red Shoes call a DQ. Like,
you know who his son is?
No,
Shuda.
Blue Shoes.
Are you serious?
Shuda is his son.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. But now Shuda is Moxley's son.
Well, yeah. Papa Mox.
Long story short, I enjoyed the match. It is, again, very much like my match last week, where it's just two men beating the ever-living crap out of each other. It's stiff as hell. It's snug as hell. It's entertaining. This one went about 8 minutes too long.
Okay, I can see that.
Exactly. So if we're gonna have just a bar room brawl, 10 minutes. That's all we need. This one went 20. Little much, but overall, I enjoyed it to a point, and then I did say "wrap it up, boys" a few times. I wouldn't want to get hit by either one of these men.
Not at all. Was this a big rivalry for?
I would
those
think
two?
so. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really, and this is the thing that we're gonna have today. I don't know the history between most of these people. I'm just mostly caught up in the last 3 or 4 years. I don't like. At one point I was only watching Wrestle Kingdoms. Like, I would order Wrestle Kingdoms and watch those. But as of 2 years ago, when NJPW World came out and you're able to watch everything else, I started watching everything else. And like during the G1 is when I kind of fell in love with NJPW. Nice. Final thoughts you just gave them. Let's get to the social media update.
Social media update. All right, but before we do, we
really
that was a botch.
Terrible. All right.
Neighbors gonna hate this.
I swear to God,
I hate the fucking bell. Zane's gonna call you.
I know you guys are waiting for the social media update, but before that, boys.
Oh God.
We have another
unsponsored
advertisement. Sponsor. All right. Have you ever been dragging ass in the morning?
Yes.
Needing a quick pick-me-up, but you hate the weird candy flavors of Bangs? Or you're too much of a bitch to drink coffee?
Hate coffee.
Grab a Monster energy drink.
Woo!
With the cool, crisp, and refreshing taste of Monster, you'll get that jittery start to your day without that weird cotton candy taste.
That's right.
But wait, there's more.
Okay.
Holding a can of Monster or having our baller sticker on your 4-cylinder Honda tells the world something. It says, yes, world, I have a job. It's kind of important to me, so I need to be alert. But it's not so important that I won't go out on a Wednesday night, snort a 30 milligram Adderall, finish a bottle of Jaeger, and play darts till 2 a.m.
Darts.
So for a limited time, go to any semi-reputable gas station or grocery store,
Semi-reputable.
grab a Monster or two out of the case, and tell them $2 steak. A pro wrestling podcast sent you. They'll be obligated to give you our exclusive 2 for $5 deal. This is a national affiliated deal. So again, go to your bodega of choice, tell them $2 steak sent you, and get 2 16-ounce big dicks in a can for $5.
I'd also say tweet Monster and tag us in that tweet if you did.
Yeah, I will.
I just want to give you a heads up. We're running a promotion.
Yeah. So, so last week, we'll get into the social media. I added Charmin and I said, hey, so you guys know you're our first ever unsponsored advertisement. If you don't want to be affiliated with us, just let us know. They didn't, so they are. So now we have 2 major media deals.
We're going to get sued.
We're
Cease and desist.
I don't think we will.
Come to the mail.
So Charmin and Monster Energy drinks are currently our sponsors for $2 Steak of Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Then why are we still in Aaron's house?
Well,
Where else would we be?
Hey, you know what? The check hasn't. It's on the way.
$2 Steak, a pro wrestling podcast brought to you by Monster Energy Drink and Charmin Ultra. Less is more.
That's the tagline for one end and the other.
All right.
Anyway, the social media update. We're crushing it again on Twitter, man. We're up to like 257, I think was the last. We're just getting a lot of action. People are talking about us. We're still in our little Twitter beef with Brad Shepard. At one point, I called him a bitch to his face. He did not respond, so that means he is a bitch.
And he still hasn't blocked us.
Still no, because like I was telling you, he's only got 6,000 Twitter followers, so he needs every number he can get.
Yeah, I think so too.
So Twitter's doing well. Tolbert had he had a great Terry Funk tweet or Instagram. Sorry,
Yeah.
what is that a post?
That's a post. Yeah.
So Instagram, Graham.
You're
Terry
showing
Funk
your
Graham.
age right now, Mike.
Hey man, I don't Instagram. And then he had a pandering post about my pork and how awesome it was. So I appreciate that.
So 2 posts this week.
Shout out Tolbert. Yeah,
That's fine. They're carefully curated.
Very carefully.
One of them had to do with wrestling.
just one. Yeah.
The other one did not.
No, it was pandering
It had to do with barbecue.
It did. You know what?
Which goes hand in hand with wrestling.
$2 steak,
There you
$2
go.
meat. We can get into $2 bake. I made some sourdough buns.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that. Go, give me some more about your social media.
No. That's
What about my HIGHKU Instagram?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
I just found a random wrestling card.
No shit, I could tell.
Grammed it. I was like, oh, cool. That's a wrestling card.
Now, does that lead us to...
this week's shit list?
Yes.
Yeah. So this week's shit list, headlining this shit list. So I found this. We've been kind of getting these like ads and like dips at highs and lows, we'll say. And so this week's primary shit list headliner, sex bots.
Sex bots.
Sex bots.
Okay.
So we mentioned those sex bots way back when, and so I tend to follow everybody who follows us, except for sex bots.
Okay.
And so what I do is I go through and I scroll through and I see who's following us and who we follow, and if they don't match up, then you make the shit list. And I was wondering why, like, I'm not seeing any of these numbers go on, and then I'm like, oh, it's because of all these sex bots that were following us, that wanting RD. And then we didn't give it to them, so they unfollowed us. So sex bots make the first shit list.
Sex bots, you've made Big Mike's shit list.
All right, and next one, product of today, actually. And it was Davenport actually referenced it to me in a text to let me know. Samsung's refrigerators.
What?
Their doors.
Yeah, that was definitely today.
Yeah, their doors just tall enough to hit your small child in the head. my very tiny son was running through Aaron's small kitchen, and when you open Aaron's refrigerator door, it encompasses the entire span of his kitchen.
Correct.
And I totally crushed my son in the face.
It was a loud noise, too.
It was very loud. I'm pretty sure there's a little Elliot-sized dent in Aaron's refrigerator door.
There's a little baby grease.
I
Little
was
face print.
I was out on the grill and I hear it, and then everyone start laughing.
Well, no, like after the thump, there was literally
Audible
like
silence.
15 seconds of just like, what just happened? The child got his first concussion.
No, that's like at least his third.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You've dropped him multiple times.
No, I didn't drop him.
All right, right.
He fell with style.
Samsung, you and your refrigerators have made Big Mike's shit list.
And Elliot's too.
Ryan Tannehill is Kofi Mania right now.
Okay.
Ryan Tannehill is Kofi Kingston right now.
Just grinding it out.
He's grinding it out.
Underdog.
Yep, they counted him. I mean, how many years was Kofi wrestling? 11 years? Oh, man.
Wait till you listen back to it. Wait till you listen back to it.
Wait till you listen back.
But let Aaron, let Cookie finish his thought.
Ryan Tannehill right now is Kofi Kingston last year during the Kofi Mania thing. So right now, he is on the up and up. Everybody counted him out. They said after he tore his ACL.
Does that make Derrick Henry Big E or Xavier Woods?
Big E for sure.
Okay, yeah, for
Big
sure.
E. Xavier Woods is. We'll figure that one out later. But Ryan Tannehill is Kofi Kingston. He's going to WrestleMania, aka the Super Bowl, and he is going to surprise and shock the world.
I love it.
Bold statement, I know.
I do. I'm fully on the Titans bandwagon.
Thank you. There's another person. We need it. All right. Now going into my match.
All right, Cookies.
Whoa, you're not going that part.
We already hit the well, man.
Just say
Sorry, I
who's
had to
wrestling.
poop. All right. All right, for Cookies matchup of the evening, the strong style, we have got Kota Ibushi against Shinsuke. Sorry, I got a burp. Shinsuke Nakamura.
It's another big fight filled with this. I assume a classic match. You got the artist Nakamura, self-proclaimed king of the strong style, against Kota Ibushi, who is one of the, I assume, rising stars in NJPW, known for his toughness just as much as his speed. Guys, I want to go back and I want to watch this match for Ibushi's. I want you guys to watch this match for Ibushi's facial expressions, because he has just but one, and that's serious. I mean, the man has the coldest eyes, and like he rarely grimaces. He is. Are you about to say something?
No, I'm just looking at my puppet with a shrimp in its mouth.
Yeah, that's been there for about 30 minutes now.
All right.
And that's why I was cracking up a little bit earlier.
All right.
But anyway, Ibushi is just as tough as he is. It doesn't change the fact that Shinsuke had that crowd in the palm of his hand. I think this was right before he left for the WWE. Clearly the crowd favorite, and I mean the Shinsuke chants were clear and they were boisterous for sure.
No, I'm just listening to you.
No.
Cookies. Top 4.
Matt, you understand it.
You didn't say number 1.
Number 1.
Ibushi's athleticism in the early half of the match. First, he hits a springboard drop kick, hits him right on the mark being Shinsuke's chin, 2 count. Then he hits him with a standing shooting star press, rolls into a turnbuckle, hits a moonsault off the second rope, and not one botch in sight. That's beautiful to me.
Oh,
that is poetry in motion.
I think I know what the rating's going to be.
Oh, of course. Come on now.
Number 2. Oh, shit.
If there's one move I hate, maybe I shouldn't say hate. Okay. Shinsuke's... hate is a strong word. Rather, it's uncomfortable. Shinsuke's like downward knees to an opponent while they're hunched over. You know what I'm talking about?
In the back of the head.
Yeah, I wince every time because he doesn't hit the same place. He'll hit the shoulders maybe twice and he'll hit the ribs. And then he might do you like he did Ibushi and just drop a knee straight down your head.
You know, Ibushi was like, dude, just hit me in the neck.
Oh, of course.
I can take it, bro.
You know, everybody has like back day,
Yeah.
leg day.
Yeah.
Ibushi has a neck day.
Yeah,
at least 2, maybe 2 a week. That dude lands on his neck or gets hit in his neck more than anybody I've ever seen.
Did you see that this week I followed Kota Ibushi's neck on Twitter?
Did you?
I didn't.
He's got his own Twitter account.
I didn't even catch it. I guarantee he's not the one running that. But
No,
that's
well,
hilarious.
yeah.
I guarantee
you need to look at it. It's all like
Is it him just going, ouch?
no. Go on it while Cookie's in there, and you'll enjoy it.
I guarantee you Ibushi's going to be retired by the age of 33.
He already is. No,
He's older than that already.
He's older than me. Yeah.
Really? He looks very young. I didn't know that. But nonetheless, we'll go to the next one.
Number 3.
Ibushi with a sit-out powerbomb. You get a 2 count. Ibushi goes for a corkscrew. Then in midair, he turns it into a splash. Shinsuke brings his knees up and blocks it. What does he do next, guys? Shinsuke hits his finisher, which is a running knee to the back of the head, which he calls the Kinyasa. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but whatever. Kinyasa. And I swear to God, he kicked Ibushi's head into the stratosphere. Just wow. I mean, how do you protect yourself when someone's
You don't.
like you're not facing the opponent, so you're just hoping that he does not kill you, and he's just running at you full force and kicking you in the back of the head.
Do you remember that
Nasty.
show? Was it Sports Science or Exercise Science? And they would
Sports science.
Sports
I wish
yeah.
that they would have like these NJPW guys actually do the moves on that dummy and see what's
They
forward.
got Ray Lewis run through like brick walls.
I want to know what
like
the force on Ibushi's neck is.
Yeah.
Like that apron. I'm not gonna ruin it. That apron spot where he just like he's up on the top rope, gets kicked, and then he just like dives onto the apron,
Yeah.
his face first.
Yeah, it's insane.
I was like, well, way to sell that, buddy. You didn't have to do that aggressively, but he just no hands faced into the apron.
All right, that gets me to number 4.
Hold on.
Go for it,
Number 4.
guys. I don't know what's real and what's not with Ibushi. Okay, so Shinsuke. I'll just explain this to you. Shinsuke starts kicking Ibushi in the corner. I mean, stomping a mud hole in. I mean, those shots are hitting him straight into the head, and they look extremely stiff and tight. Holy fuck. Ibushi stands back up, starts delivering some open palm strikes and legit closed fist punches. Even Red Shoes had to step in front of him and warn him.
Yeah.
And those are snug.
Yeah.
He was hitting him dead on his chin. Listen, all I know is it took 3 Kinshasas off the middle rope, and he kicked out at one. He no-sold one of them.
Yeah.
Shinsuke had to deliver another one after that to pull him away. Shinsuke wins at the very end. Just to knock him out, he had to hit him with 3 or 4 Kinshasas, which are kicks to your head, to the dome piece.
And Shinsuke actually took a few of Kota's finishing move, which is the Boombai. Hold on, I'll find out.
Oh, well, I'm gonna keep going. Something funny though before the clip ends. I'm sorry. Let me slow down. You see someone applying ice to Ibushi's chin. Guys, he's gonna need more than one ice pack. Holy hell,
yes.
Dude, after all
What
those
a
blows he
fucking
took,
match.
I took like 2 notes, and one was Ibushi's getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yes,
Astute observation.
he's
It
getting
is
kicked
the
in
whole
neck.
time. I wrote leg drops, more knees, and dicks, because at one point...
It's over. That's any Ibushi match that I've ever seen is Ibushi getting the
Shinsuke,
shit
like,
kicked out of him.
Gets like he does like this thrust like dick spot into his face when he's got him in the turnbuckle.
What did you think about Shinsuke in NJPW as opposed to what he does in
One of the
WWE?
first thing I wrote, I wish they would use Nakamura in WWE like this. I don't
wish they
think we
would
get
too.
to see him showcase that strong style. He's very quick, sharp, and crisp. And we don't get to see that ever.
In NJPW, he is a legit badass. You
Yeah.
would not want to fuck him. He's up there with Suzuki.
You wouldn't want to fuck him.
And fuck with him. I'm sorry. Fuck.
Don't fuck him.
Don't fuck
Don't
him
fuck
either. Yeah,
Shinsuke.
probably don't fuck him either. But like, you don't want to mess with him. And I feel like in WWE, you get a watered down version of that.
Yeah,
and
it
very
is.
watered down. And
You
then
get a sports entertainment version of that.
And I've told this
so
story
bad.
countless times. The one time I've ever like marked out and I'm like, ooh, I was going up to the hotel room after I got Casey had gotten me tickets to go see NXT in Charleston, and he's like, yeah, come hang out with us in the hotel afterwards. And I'm like walking up, and he's like, "Do not ask for any autographs." And as soon as I look up, there's Shinsuke like smoking a cigarette, just looking at me, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, him and Oscar, right?
"Yeah." I'm like, "Hello, Mr. Nakamura.
Please don't kick me in the head.
How do you do?"
Please kick me in the head.
I want to tell this story on my podcast. All right, let's get into my honorable mentions. Shinsuke's knees.
Yes.
That's it. He delivers them fast and he does not pull them. Ibushi at one point tried to mount a comeback and he threw some, stiff elbows and whatnot. But man, those knees that Shinsuke retaliated with, yes, plural, he gave Ibushi like 8 shots to the stomach and it had me gasping for air. It's unreal. But following that up, Shinsuke knocks Ibushi down with a knee strike and he runs to a corner and then hits him with another running knee strike. Ibushi counters that with an elbow strike and a Pele kick, which I thought was pretty sweet. Anyway, going on, guys, I've noticed that most wrestlers who go for a springboard moonsault to the outside, they usually jump off the second rope. Ibushi is a goddamn athlete.
Yeah.
I'll say this again.
He's a freak, dude.
He is a freak of nature. Ibushi pops off the top rope and pulls off a corkscrew moonsault, which is just unreal. Like I didn't realize he was that athletic. He's up there now with like Pac and all those other people.
What about the one where he did like a running backflip twisty thing onto the guy?
I think that's what he's
That's
just
what I'm
talking
talking
about.
about.
No, this was just running on the mat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, he did do that. You talking about when you're standing, like a standing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but either way, like just to do a backflip with some twists, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Dude's a
I could
freak.
probably do that, but like to see him,
Dollar says you can't.
I will go outside and do it on Matt Davenport
You'll
right
go
now.
outside and boost your neck right now.
Yeah, I
That's what
probably
you're
will
gonna do.
and break my neck. Last one. I've never seen a standing corkscrew moonsault before until Ibushi. Do you know how high you have to jump to pull that off? Higher than Tolbert was last week when Mike asked him, "What's worse than bad weed?" And there was a long pause in between that answer. Nothing, man. That's a rhetorical question right there.
Did I accidentally smoke hemp?
I mean, like, are you out of weed?
Do you need weed? I can get you
Is there
weed.
bad weed?
This was a phenomenal match. I loved it. Unbelievable. 5 cookies without a
Boo!
question.
We're gonna start getting some shitty matches to cook.
Bravo. I am an Ibushi fan.
We have only given
and
him one match that is one cookie.
You need to start switching it up because this guy's had way too many good matches.
I know. I'm
You
sorry.
Did you like it?
I loved it. I
great.
loved
It
all
was a
3
great match.
matches
It
this
was.
week.
Dude, those slaps were there, like the shit spraying in the air and all that sort of thing. It was
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
Open palm
I'm
strikes.
just booing the fact that you keep getting good matches. I want you to have some shitty matches. I want to hear poor cookie review.
I do want to hear him do a top 4 of something that he hates.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Because ever since he's been doing the top 4, they've been decent matches. He hasn't had
I blame the producer.
I'm sorry. I'd like to. Yeah, I'm like good content. I like making Mike
Is next week
bitch
the
about
Royal
things.
Rumble episode? No.
Yeah, no. Next week will be the Royal Rumble episode. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, we'll see how that
Well,
goes.
I don't know how you're going to do a cookie count of. We'll do an overall cookie count of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Wait,
Okay.
Will you say I digress?
I can say I digress.
I digress.
You didn't say it this week.
Oh, I do typically say I digress.
Cookie. What is your cookie count? 5?
5 cookies.
5 cookies.
Now I
thank
digress.
God he didn't ring that
I thought
5
he was
times.
doing it.
I respect my neighbors.
His neighbors are going to think that there's a fight breaking
Your
out here.
neighbors think they're going crazy right now. Your neighbors smoke some bad weed and they're like, "Do I hear a bell? Keep hearing a bell."
I think I got the vertigo.
My tinnitus is back. Cheryl, go get the ear candle. All right, for the high spot, Naito against Yano.
Oh,
Two of the most charismatic individuals in all of professional wrestling, and you got them, Tolbert. Tell me about your match all
right,
5 minutes of.
Yeah, I've only seen Yano a couple times, and I know his gimmick. I know his DVD thing, how he always comes out, and I've seen him wrestle in a few pay-per-views you've ordered and we watched here. But so it starts out with Naito coming out looking like in his manga steampunk gear. That's the only way I can describe it.
Yeah.
He's very flamboyant. He's got his suit on, dressed in the nines with this big cape cloak thing. And he comes out to this DDR style Japanese blasting techno.
Yeah, Naito kind of looks like a Lupin, or like there was this old
he's
school
very like
Suave.
Final Fantasy
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, exactly.
Cowboy
He's got that
Bebop.
groove going. And just amazing head of hair. You know, he's a pretty boy. He knows what he's doing. So he gets out there. Yano is just
complete
fucking
opposite.
punk rock, dude. He's metal. I love his interest music. It's just like Japanese metal. It's just like do 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 do. He comes out, he's spitting, he's spraying mist. He's got a chair. He's got his DVD. He's doing his cheap plugs. And I don't know what the sash across his chest
know
translates to, but he likes to flash that. The crowd goes
It says
wild.
buy my DVD.
Anyway, and we get a little background that there's a little history between those two. They've
I forgot you actually had English commentary on
I
your...
did, yes, and I was like, whoa! I plugged in the headphones. I was like, I'll listen to it just to get the noises, right? And I was like, oh, English commentary. All right. So I got a lot of information on the match, and these two have gone up against each other 5 times, and Yano has only beat him once in the past 5 times they've met. And Naito's talked a lot of shit, saying he doesn't belong in this tournament, saying he is a worthy opponent, doesn't belong in the tournament. He's a goofball, but he's dangerous. And I like the way he jokes around in
That's
the
like
ring.
you. You're a goofball, but you're dangerous.
But I will fuck you up. If I get there. So they make their way to the ring. Yano's goofy, but he's got this mean. He's still scary. That's what I like about him. He is goofy. He's a little over the top, but he's still intimidating looking. He's still big. His voice inflection, the way he works the crowd, it's like he's joking, but he's also mocking and really getting to the other opponent. You know what I mean? But he immediately goes into Naito, making fun of his clothes. I couldn't understand what he was saying, but it's obvious.
Yeah,
He's talking about his get up and all this. And then he finally strips off all those Cowboy Bebop get up, and we get to the match. And Yano's complaining. He yells the whole time. He does not shut the fuck up during the
I
whole...
like that, though.
Yeah, I love it. It's hilarious. But he yells constantly. His cardio's got to be pretty damn good because he's yelling just as much as he's wrestling. And he's got an issue with Naito wearing his own T-shirt in the ring. And so he grabs his T-shirt. He's like, well, you're going to plug your shirt. I'm going to wear my shirt. And he puts it on, gives a couple more cheap little jabs to him. And it starts. Naito goes in on him, trying to get some offense. But at every turn, Yano's got some goofy little trick, whether it's like hooking his arms on the rope after an Irish whip and like bouncing back and forth and just going, oh! It's hilarious. It makes you laugh, but it's very strategic as well. Naito gets frustrated. Every turn, Yano's got some goofy little trick. So Naito, tries to hit him back with some of his own medicine and goof off a little bit and, do the same thing, hook the ropes after a whip, silly little breakouts and stuff like that. Match continues. Naito keeps trying to get this offense. It's just not happening. And it's very entertaining, though. I love the psychology in this match. So it progresses. We see Yano doing his little thing where he's trying to take the cover off the turnbuckles,
right?
Almost immediately. And I guess that's his thing. I guess
that's it. He does it in every match.
He's named them. Yeah, he does it every time. Tom, I guess, is one of the names of the turnbuckle pad. He takes it off immediately. Starts teasing that someone's going to get thrown into this buckle, right? Naito responds with taking the other buckle pad off. And at one point, we see a spot where you think he's going to like smack the shit out of him with his buckle pad, but Red Shoes interferes. Takes a buckle pad ref bump at one point. Yeah. We see her first ref bump. First roll up by Yano. Naito kicks out. Keeps going. It was just goofy, funny stuff, right? Then we see a spot where we see another ref bump, but the ref actually gets his the shirt pulled over his head.
Right.
And that's where
like a bully move.
Yeah, exactly. We see old Red Shoes get his polo pulled over his head, and that leaves opportunity for Yano to get the low blow. We see a low blow Also, shirt pulled over Naito's face as well with a small package roll up, and that's the end. Yano makes a quick exit. Also plugs his DVD on the way out, of course, leaving Naito just embarrassed and scratching his head in the middle of the ring.
Were you entertained?
Very entertained. It was my favorite match out of all of them. It's funny and goofy, but you still have... I don't know. It's still tough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not goofy. It's still... It's just awesome. I love it.
And the thing, I think this was a part of the G1 tournament.
Yes.
And this was one of Yano's things was he was a spoiler. He was always...
I was like, he's a spoiler. You know, I've done some research. I've seen him in the past. He's that guy that kind of just shakes things up in the middle of the tournament. Everything's going a certain way. They take him as a goof, but he comes out with these wins.
Right.
And also, I wrote, like, they mentioned his resume leading up to this match. And he's beat some, like, top people, including John Moxley as well, which we watched that match.
Yeah, we watched that match, and that was the one where he taped Moxley's.
He taped him up.
He taped him.
Young Lion, right?
Yeah. You reviewed that match too. I think.
Yeah, it was a good match.
Yeah, he reviewed. Yeah.
Oh man,
Can I just say that Red Shoes was the referee for all of our matches?
Well, I mean, like in the big fights, like I think Red Shoes is basically the only referee.
I think it's cool.
It's like having Earl Habner.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think that's kind of cool.
Mike Kyoto, shout out.
So it's cool that we had all Japanese matches.
That's
are
New
HIGHKUs
Japan.
Chinese or Japanese?
HIGHKUs are Japanese.
All right, cool. So
Tolbert
actual
HIGHKU.
Japanese haiku this week. Yano's on the grind. Be sure to get your T-shirts. The joke's on Naito.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was a good one.
I'm so proud. Like you have become just quite the.
I got my new notebook that I'm writing all my things in.
Is it a new notebook or is it like one that you found at your parents'
I
house?
found it. I ripped the first 3 pages out that Katie used for some things, but it's mine now, and it says The High Spot Chronicles. Get it?
Yeah, I get it.
It's that classic zebra looking kind of
the old composition books.
Yeah, did you get it at Dollar General?
I don't know. I don't know what it's game.
He got it at Hot Topic.
Hot Topic. No, he didn't,
With the
because they don't have any
AEW
AEW stuff.
Nah.
Thank you for listening to $2 Steak, a pro wrestling podcast. Next week.
Go Titans. Let's go Titans. Tighten up, baby. Tanamania.
Hey, wait.
Tanamania.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at @2$steak_.